Hi guys, my name is Dr. Rocker and today we will draw the Hulk, a real-time drawing session with live commentary. And I will try out some new stuff I want to give a go, so make sure to watch the whole video to not miss out on any of my cool things I'm trying here. So let's get to the drawing. Okay guys, here we go. My family is out at the zoo today, so I will have time to do a drawing of the Hulk in one sitting, I guess. Which is a very rare occasion, so I'm happy about that. Of course, I would have loved to join them at the zoo, but it's really hard to find time where I can draw on my own and make a video like this. So I had to seize the opportunity. Okay, we are drawing the Hulk, and I want to try out some stuff with the torso. You will see in a second. I want to try a new torso, so to say. But first we need all the ground lines. I also want to try to keep this very sketchy. As you know, I want to find my more sketchy way of doing drawings, because I'm from nature, I'm drawing very tight. And I would like to get a bit sketchier. Okay. I love the Hulk, so always lots of fun drawing him. This is where the neck sticks out. The head should not be too big because we want a massive Hulk. If you draw a small head, the Hulk gets even more massive than otherwise, of course. Hulk drawing trick number 1. I hope you guys all are well. This is the second video in this manner. I did a Red Hood drawing in real time and with live commentary, which, as you know, is a little bit hard because English is not my first language. I'm from Austria, so I speak German. So speaking in a different language and still trying to produce a decent drawing is quite hard for me. I'll tell you like it is, but I don't mind. It's a learning process. And you'll only get better when practicing everything, even talking and drawing at the same time. Okay, there we have a basic structure already. I might clean it up a little bit already so it won't get too confusing, especially for you guys when you want to follow my process. It's a bit hard if there are too many lines in the way. This is a knitted eraser and I'm using a 2B pencil, by the way. Because I'm not pressing very hard, so a 2B pencil is good. I might change later because for more details, I'm not sure. I guess this will be a pencils only. If so, I might be changing to an H pencil for more details, because when you want to get more details drawn in, the 2B pencil is not the best choice because it's very soft. But still, what I really love to do with those is hatching and stuff like that, because it's very fluid movement. Okay, let's do a little bit of a rounder chest muscle here. Okay, you know what? Let's draw in some hands first. Arch enemy! So, I need to practice more hands, I figured. I've already invested a lot of time in drawing hands, but I feel like I've lost too much again already. Do you know the feeling? I guess most of you will be artists as well, and I guess you know how it is you practice something and you are getting better, and then you don't touch it for quite a while. Of course, you have to draw hands when you do your characters as well, but if you don't find the time to practice something like that in between, it might get a little bit stale. That happened to me with hands. So there will be, I guess, yes, no, I promise, there will be a hands practice video draw along or something of the sort in the near future, because I really should practice those more. I like it when it's a little bit more jagged. It's always a mixture. You need to find the right mixture in comic book drawings of jagged forms and still not getting too cartoony. This already looks not good. I almost said shitty, but I don't want to say shitty here on my channel. So. Okay. What's also very important, you have to check if the whole arm isn't getting too long with the hand attached to it, but I guess I'm safe. Sometimes you only see it when it's too late. Might happen here as well, but let's just try and fill in the rest of the fingers. I guess this works. And I think the arm is not too long, but he needs to get more muscles because it's the freaking Hulk. I also want to do a huge bicep. And you can, that's the beauty of that, of drawing the Hulk, you can just add muscles as you go along. Still a little bit long looking, the hand, but it might work. Let's just do the other one first, and then we will see if this will work or not. Okay, so a helpline for getting the right size, because the hands are both hanging down next to the body, which means they should be fairly similar. Lengthwise. This is the muscle from the thumb, this one here. So thumb, I want to do a fist, but not in a funny angle, but the arm is like this, so the fist should be like that. And jagged forms again. And here I want to have very long fingers. I think this might work. A little bit bigger. Yeah. Then, talking about jagged forms, if you have a wrong line like that, the best way is to get rid of it as soon as possible, because it might ruin your view. Okay, so this is a finger, which means there's a bow and there's a bow. And the other knuckle, this is the knuckle, I want the knuckle to be here. It's like I don't know the word. Anyway, we see two knuckles, and then this is the first of these. This gets right here and here. Is this working? Might be working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. Always do the count, fellas. No, it's not really an issue, I think. Usually everyone manages to do the right amount of fingers, hopefully. That's a big issue. You might have issues. Okay. Man, I will have time to finish this drawing with no, Daddy, I need this and that. That's so refreshing. Although I'm a little bit tired, unfortunately, because I had to shovel sand yesterday, and I shoveled like about 4 cubic meters, which are about 4 tons, so quite a lot, and I had to, wait a second, I had to shovel them in a wheelbarrow and then bring them up to a very steep way on a tractor, a trolley from a tractor, on a trolley from a tractor, and yeah, was quite a lot of work, and I injured my back a little bit because I was tattooing and doing tattoos the whole day, and then they brought the tractor and I went out right away without having a break or doing some warm-ups, and was shoveling and wheelbarrow driving, and that's a bad combination. So I have a bad back now, not really hard, but still annoying enough so I couldn't sleep too well. Okay, so here are our ribs. I also want to try not to do them too big, because that's similar with the head. If the ribs are a little bit smaller, the whole body looks a little bit more muscular and bigger. And what I want to do is, I told you earlier, I want to try out some different stuff with the rib cage, the torso. I want to do, it might not be a big difference, but I guess it makes a big difference. There are the stomach muscles, and here there is a very big gap. This will all be in shadow. I think it looks pretty cool. And since there are the ribs, we are still in need for some muscles right here. And also here, the light is just coming from above, and I might add a second light source later from the side, but now we are only concerned, especially since we are doing this in pencils, we can erase easily. We're only concerned from the light source coming from above. We are concerned from the light source? That's not right. Okay, anyway. This body, this torso, is more an approach from Ariel Olivetti. That's where I wanted to try this one. I really like Ariel Olivetti's art. He's such a great painter, but he's also having a very unique style concerning the anatomy. I'm influenced by him quite a lot, and I'm talking about him often enough, I guess. But you can see it in my work. I really like his style, and he's approaching everything more bulky, which makes the Hulk perfect for a drawing like that, to try this out. Okay, so this will be the torso. And I'm thinking, when I am really doing this in pencils only, maybe I should change to the H pencil quite soon. But you know what? I will do all the muscle groups first. So there's the thumb. And the main muscle, I call him the Finch muscle because he does him so extraordinarily well. The main muscle on the forearm is the one that starts on from the thumb like this, and then it's getting way bigger right there. You can draw it all the way up here if you like. I want to try and here, and he splits up here. And by the way, this might not be anatomical correct, because when you know me, you know I don't care too much about the anatomy. I don't want it to look off, but I don't want to be a slave of the anatomy. I want it to look cool. That's Rocker's way. Okay. Yeah, something about these lines. Then we have all these muscle groups, just like that. Yeah. I want to do a really big bicep. I like those lately. And you could squeeze in an extra muscle here. I think there actually is an extra muscle. But if you think like it would be cool to have an extra form here and there, just go for it. Doesn't matter. Just check how they look, and overall you can say if it's shaped like a football in some way, then you're good. Then you're on the right way. Okay, the shoulder muscle. Oh my, I need to go to the door. Be right back. And I'm back. My horse ordered some stuff for my horse. Did I say my horse? Oh my god. Maybe she's watching. Sorry, honey. My wife ordered some stuff for horses, and I had to get that from the postman. Okay, sorry I called you horse, honey. Let's see. Where was I? At the shoulder. So, there's the shoulder. And I think there needs to be an extra muscle, so it gets a little bit bigger. And here you can squeeze in an extra muscle here, up there. It's also looking cool. You don't have to, but I think those extra muscles, they can look pretty neat. And if you overdo them, just get rid of them again. So, big neck muscles, of course, because it's the freaking Hulk. He needs big muscles. I love the Hulk. I'm in pretty good shape with my comic book I'm working on. A lot of you guys are very interested, and I'm hyped for that. Currently, I'm at page 18 from, I guess it will be 25 or something like that, so I will be there soon. Then it's time to get all those pages colored and stuff like that. And I'm very excited about the colorist, but I will not talk too much about the project now, because there will be the right time for it. But it's a cool project. I guess you guys will dig it. So, collarbones. And now we need to define the muscles from this hand, and we can also start right here with the big muscle from I told you from before, and you can also you know, it's very similar, the hand pose. This one is drawn in a little bit out and this a little bit in, but other than that, the big part of this muscle starts here, so I will try to let it start here as well. And of course, this hand is a fist and the other one is open, which alters the muscle here, but doesn't have to be anatomically correct, as I told you earlier. This is the big one. The big muscle sits about here. And here, it splits like this. So you see, I'm not just doing something, I'm trying to stay true to the major forms, but not a slave to it. So, here we go. Some extra muscles here. The tricep can be bigger, like on the other side. And again, cleaning up helps a lot. So, the tricep has a similar form like this one, getting quite big here. And here you can fit in some extra muscles, as I did on the other side. It shouldn't be completely different than on the other side, of course. This might look weird. But even if they are not completely the same, it's not the worst thing you can do. Okay, then we need some trousers. They can start a little bit lower, I guess, like this. I always draw in the belt because I mostly draw superheroes and stuff like that, or even if it's not superheroes, usually guys have a belt and it's a landmark for me. So this will just be some trousers. And they can be ripped apart at quite some, yeah, like that. And I have to clean up a little bit again, otherwise it's getting too confusing for me. Don't want to be confused. Okay, so trousers, a lot of folds. There will be something like that. But still, I want to do some muscles showing through the trousers. So the whole leg would be here. I guess we would need one of the big football-shaped muscles right there. And here's one. Then there's this string going down there. Since he's standing quite similar, I can do like almost the same thing on the other side. This is going to be the big muscle and this is the other big one. Not to be seen in this drawing. Okay, since this he can be a little bit more broad. This needs to be black. But I guess no, I will draw in the face now. And then I will go ahead and lighten everything down, and I think I will use my old H pencil again. Give it another spin. Here I just realized this one is almost out, and you have to be very careful if you use one of these, because when they're out there's still like 3 millimeters left, but the plastic is going through and you can damage the paper. So if that happens, use a new one. I also have refills, but I don't want to refill now. I want to work on this drawing. Okay. Hulk has a cool looking face, and I want him to bend his head back a little bit, like that. Which means the ears are about here. These are the eyes, but they're the ears. Something like that. Okay. So an eye in the middle, so I know where to put the eyes. And these eyes, they are not looking angry yet, but when you do this, then it adds the eyebrow, which actually should be a little bit further away, because we can see the whole socket. This is the socket from the skull, and the eyebrows should start there. If you draw an eye like that and it's in front view, you can go ahead and do this, but in this case I think it should be, to stay anatomical correct enough, should be a little bit more like this, like there's supposed to be some space in between. Okay, and the nose is very, very small but broad from the Hulk, which means he needs to look pissed, of course, because he's always angry. You know that. So that's his nose. This is where it's getting a little bit unpractical using a 2B pencil already, because you can see it's a little bit troublesome to do the details. And then we do this. Okay, and of course we need to add some hair. We will not see too much of the hair because the head is bent backwards. But still, that's a little bit too much. Yeah, something a lot about this looks good. And we can also go ahead and draw in this thingy. Coming together. It's all coming together. Okay, so now I will lighten it down, and I will actually go ahead and use my my H pencil then. Okay, so let's just be careful when you lighten a drawing down like that. So don't go too hard with the eraser, because otherwise everything's gone. But I think that's clear. Okay. And now you can see Jack again, right? Sorry about that. I can see good enough. So here's my H pencil. I didn't use the one with this one, but I don't care too much. So let's just try and start off with the head again. And yeah, this one is freshly sharpened. I need to get it a little bit more blunt at one side, but it'll come. If it's too blunt, it's not good. If it's too sharp, it's not good either. Unless you are doing very small details, of course. And I want him to look pissed, of course, so I need to do these folds. Try them out. If you just do these folds, doesn't need to be the Hulk. If you do a nose and do these folds, they will be... It will look very pissed. The character will look very pissed in no time. So only do that if you want him to look pissed, of course. Okay. Here. I haven't used just pencils for a clean drawing in quite a while, because lately, working on the comic, I have to do it. I also do the inks, so I only do quick sketches, so I can go in with the inks as soon as possible, because it's just way too time consuming to do the pencils properly and then ink over it. It would be nice to have an inker, so you just have to do the pencils, but when you have to do pencils and inks, that's, at least for me, that's not an option. And I guess it's not an option for everyone in the business who inks themselves, because it's just not, that's just not working. There's not the time. Time is a big issue in the comic book industry. So if you have a way of figuring out how to draw faster, which is working for you, do it. Even if you're not having like a couple of kids and a full-time job like I do, you will still need to have a lot of time. You know what? I want to try something. When I use this one for line weight, I'm way faster. I will do the outlines with the 2B pencil again. I have to be careful not to smudge it too much later, but I guess this will work. And I will use the H pencil for strong blacks in a second. But you can see, wait a second, you can see it's working quite fast. It's a really cool method. But the smudging is an issue. I hope it won't be too much of an issue later. Can you see how fast I can do this? That's great. What I also would like to do again, I was playing around with this for some drawings, is do a drawing like that, then do the line weight with inks, because that's at least as fast as with the pencil. And when the line weight is done, maybe even do strong blacks with inks, but what I did so far was to do everything else with a pencil, which is also working really cool. And once you have the line weight done, of course you shouldn't need to touch those lines again, but when that's the case, it's really easy to draw. There's one step of the process you will not be smudging even if you use a softer pencil, and then you can be very fast. So I encourage you to try this out. Maybe I'll do a drawing soon with this method again. For the comic I'm doing everything in inks, but I'm considering for future projects to maybe even try the thing with inks mixed with pencils, because you can work very clean. You have to be a little bit more careful when drawing, but it's possible. if you should be drawing along with this video, I would like to see the results. I always am very hyped when I see something on Instagram where I'm like, hey, this is my drawing, this is so great. And a lot of you guys really know what you're doing. That's very, very cool. And even if you're not happy with the result, don't be shy. You can send it to me on Instagram or do a post and tag me or stuff like that. But the best way for me to see it would be to send me an, is it called a DM? A message. And then, yeah, that's the best way, because then I will see it. It might take a few weeks, but I will see it. Okay, you can see we have line weight. I can actually do this right here as well. But all the stuff that comes now, I will use the strong blacks and stuff. I will use the H pencil again. Because when you do bigger surfaces with a soft pencil like this, it gets really smudgy. Might be too much. Okay, here we go again with this one. Let's just start with the thing we want to try out, which is the shadows on the torso. And I will work clean enough for you to see it properly. Okay, can you see this? I always have to check the camera. I'm a control freak. I always have to check the camera and make sure that everything is up and running. I don't like the technical stuff. That's something I'm not bad at it, but I don't like to have to take care of it. It's boring to me. I just want to draw. That's the very lovely thing about comics. When I work on the comic books, on pages, I just have to concentrate on what I'm drawing. This is nice. But of course, I also love to do my videos for you guys. Don't worry, I will not stop. Man, I haven't done strong blacks with a pencil for ages. Some parts are boring because you have to fill out everything like that. But other parts, there are also good things about it, because when there are smaller surfaces, it's way easier with the pencil, of course, because with the inks, if you're not careful enough, everything is more black than it should be. So that will most likely not happen too easy with the pencils. And of course, the pencil thingy, even the bigger surfaces, you can erase them. It's not working perfectly, but good enough. With the inks, you can erase some lines and stuff like that, but should you want to erase a whole area like this one with inks, which means not erasing means like using a Posca marker or something of the sort to go over it with white, I don't think it works. It's just too much. You would need to go digitally and save the drawing in digital form. Okay, sun is coming from above, which means this all needs to be black. I hope I'm not taking too long with all these pencil blacks, but there will not be too many big strong black parts anyway, so I guess I will be able to finish this in a good time. Okay, I think I need to go in bigger with this one. Let me check. It's not exactly the look I was going for, but I think it's not too bad. It's looking cool. I think I like it, but I thought it might look a bit different even. So, what I would like to know from you guys, maybe in the chat right now or in the comment section, do you like pencil drawings or ink drawings? What do you prefer to see here on the channel? And also, what do you prefer to do yourself? Because I really like to do pencil drawings. They are way more forgiving. It's way easier to produce a pencil drawing which is looking good compared to an ink drawing, because inks are not forgiving in the slightest. You see everything at one glance at the drawing. Not so with pencils. Everything is a little bit in the gray area, if you know what I mean. But still, let me know what you like most. And having said that, for you, when you are drawing, of course, there's a lot to be learned with the pencil. It's very important. But if you want to be in the industry, I think there's almost no way around doing inks. If you're not interested in doing inks, just pencils, that might be a problem, because the future is mostly digital, and if not digital, it's still the case that a lot of, or I guess even most of the artists right now, they are inking themselves. It's just, when you work digitally, it's way easier to do that, of course, because there would be no need to do that. You can go in with the inks right away, and if it's not looking good, you just go make it undo with one click and do it again. So that's the way it is, and I think at the moment it's about 50-50, which means 50% of the artists in the industry right now are working digitally, and the other half is still working like I do right here. But still, I'm sure of the 50% that are working traditionally, there will be more than 50% inking themselves. At least I think so. What's also very important when you do stomach muscles, try not to make the same shape over and over again. You can see I did some different shapes, I mean, if you want to look them exactly the same, that's okay, but mainly I would say it's not looking better if you do that. It looks better if it's a bit different, because the light isn't hitting every muscle from the exact same angle, and the muscles are not exactly the same. But even if you would draw a robot, I wouldn't go ahead and do everything too similar. It doesn't look good. Okay, what should we do next? We will do all the connections here, connection points. because like I said earlier, I will not do too many strong blacks. This muscle produces a bit of a shadow here. Okay. And this time I'm using my Strathmore 200 Bristol board again, which makes things way easier compared to the last time where I thought, okay, let's do a little bit of a smaller drawing for my first live commentary video. And yeah, wasn't the best idea because I haven't used this paper in so long, it felt funny. And when you have to concentrate on stuff like camera and microphone and talking, it's bad when it's very unusual stuff or different stuff than you're used to. Okay, here's a shadow. Here's a shadow from this muscle. You know what I'm doing, I guess. I'm doing just the small shadows produced by all the muscles, of course. And you can see it already looks way better. We are getting somewhere. Have you seen Stranger Things, guys? I really liked the fourth season of Stranger Things. I think it is as good as the first one, and I really love that they took their time, because there are, I don't know how many are there. I think there are like 9 episodes or something like that. I don't know, I'm not sure, but every episode is really, really long, and the last one even lasted for 2 hours and 23 minutes, which is crazy because it's a TV show. But it's very, very cool. Netflix are doing what they want, and that's a good thing. Okay. So, there will be a lot of shadow on these parts. A lot of shadows. So this needs to be darkened. I do it finger by finger so you can see how it works. Then this finger will be darkened at least till here. And the last one will be darkened almost everywhere. You see? I guess this works. Okay, we need to go a little bit faster, I guess. But that's the thing with the pencil. It's funny, David Finch says he's faster when penciling. But he's penciled like 7 quadrillion hours from his life. So I guess that's the reason, because overall I think if you go in with inks at this point, then you will be faster. I'm way faster with inks. Well, at least a little bit. If you're doing less rendering lines, it works with pencils. You don't need to do so many rendering lines as with inks, because everything is a little bit more blurry and it still looks better that way. And even David Finch does it this way. When you take a look at his pencil drawings, there's way less detail than in his ink drawings. I will try to do a lot of to do a lot of lines in this one because I want to try out some stuff with the rendering. But I might end up using the other pencil again because of time issues. Although I will have to be extra careful about the smudging, because when you do more with the 2B pencil, you will smudge the whole thing in no time. Okay. Some more shoulder muscles. I will add all the veins and stuff at the end, because that's a big one for pencils. You can just erase everything down easily. You can go ahead and use a Posca marker if you're inking to get rid of the lines you need to fill in the veins. It works, but might not work good enough. And then you would have to do a lot of work digitally so it looks better again. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. But still might produce the better drawing in the end, because when you are able to do all the hatching lines and stuff like that before and not having to taking care of all the veins, that's a big plus. Okay. You can see I'm trying to work a little bit faster. But if I work faster, I don't speak enough. Don't want you to get bored. So I have to rumble on with something. Okay. But it looks cool. I think it will be a nice drawing. But it's the Hulk. The Hulk is always cool to draw. One of my favorite characters. I'm getting this asked a lot. Sorry. Who's your favorite character? My favorite character is the Hulk, Wolverine, and the Batman. Those are my favorite superhero characters. Wouldn't want to choose between one of those. I like them equally. And concerning villains, I would say Thanos and Omni-Man are my most favorite characters, villain-wise. And I also really love the Spawn. I actually should add him to the list, to my hero list. And of course I love a lot of other characters, but yeah. If I would have to pick favorites, those are my favorites. Maybe I should do a drawing with those 6 characters I just told you about. I'm looking forward to having more time when I'm done with the project I'm just working on, the book, because I would like to do some bigger drawings again. I want to have a bigger one in my living room because there's one I don't like anymore. It's just too old. But those take a lot of time, of course. They're so big. So this will be blackened out. No sun there. looking good. Okay, I'm not sure if, no, I think I shouldn't do any, strong blacks in the face. I don't like it if there's too many strong blacks. I did a drawing not long ago. I don't know if I showed you this already. I don't think so. I tried out some different hatching styles on Batman heads, and I really like it in faces when there are all these small rendering areas where you define all the little muscles in the head. And if there's too much strong blacks on a face, I think you can't read the expression as good. And sometimes it just doesn't look right, I think. But of course, this is a style choice. Can still look awesome, but for me personally, I really prefer it when there are not too many strong blacks on a face. Of course, sometimes you still need to do it, because if there's something in a dark room or stuff like that, you can't just leave them out, of course. Okay, now we need to work on, I need to find the shape. Now we need to work on the trousers. A lot of folds there. If you want to know how to draw folds, especially like the one I do right here, I have a pretty good video on how to draw folds and veins. I think yeah, I did a video about how to draw veins and folds. Okay, I'm sorry guys, I was out for a minute or two because of some technical issues, but we are back on track. Okay. Everything is filming again. Now you know why I don't like this stuff. Computers just do stuff they are not supposed to for some reason. Sometimes, and that's just so bad. You have to concentrate on this as well. And I managed to mess this up. That's not right. That's not looking good. So, sorry about that. You see, getting distracted and everything goes downhill, but I can fix that. They need to intervene a little bit more, those folds. And I want to be very fast now because I want to finish this in a decent amount of time, which means I need to be faster with those strong blacks so I can focus on all the rendering lines. But I guess I'm pretty sure I will mostly do them with my 2B pencil to be super fast. To do a lot of folds, of course. Just break everything up every now and then. But also make sure not to go too high up with these. Otherwise it looks like he's wearing a diaper. That's not what I want. And the folds, which means those spaces in between, they should go a little bit smaller, should get a little bit smaller away from the light source. So I will also use the muscle underdrawing we did to draw in some muscles, some muscle forms, and then I will use some shapes from folds to go over them. Did any of you guys back up the Kickstarter where I did the drawing for The Exiled? Let me know if you did. I think it's a pretty cool project. It's pretty cool that Wesley Snipes is like in a comic book and he's really promoting it and he really likes it, it seems. That's very nice. Very cool that a big star like that is showing some love for a thing like comic books. Because comic books are, I think, a little bit in a bad state. We need to fix that. We all need to fix that, guys. I only wanted to show you these, so you know there will be a lot of folds and lines, but now on this side I will just go ahead and do the strong blacks, and then I will do the rendering lines, and then I will do the folds, and I will even be erasing all the rendering lines with where I need to, the folds. This way I should be way faster. So just strong blacks here and there, just filling out these muscles. And you can see, as far as this one's looking now, this could be almost a Hulk from a very child-friendly book, children's book. But it will look more, how can I say this? A little bit more like having a look that's more for older people. I don't know. I have something on my tongue, but I don't find the right word now. Anyway, it will look cooler. That's it. And I will already start here. I want to do a rim light from this direction, which will make a big difference as well. Which means I need to erase this one, because the rim light is coming from the side. There's nothing to be seen. Also these need to be erased. But what I will do first to give more power to the rim light, I will do a black area right there, because then the rim light is getting way more power, and it is light is producing a shadow. In this case it's producing a shadow right here next to the light source. But the main reason is when you do a shadow here and the light source, then the light source has way more power. You can see it already. So here we have our second light source. I will not do a lot of black areas here, because the light from above would kill the light right there, if you know what I mean. Okay, and usually this fold, this ripped clothes, this would produce a shadow right here, but there's the light source from this direction. We could argue and say, okay, there's the arm would block out the light, but it depends on from where the light is actually coming from, and in my case I want to have it a little bit from behind, which means I will also get rid of a little bit in here. But this will be blackened again, because this shadow from above, from the arm, is too massive. But here the light source still hits the body, and there will also be a rim light on this side of the arm, of course. which means I have to get rid of these. You see? It already would indicate a rim light, but now we will still do some strong blacks, so to say. Then everything looks perfect. And of course we will hatch out of all of these blacks, which will make it even way better. And when you do that, just also do some jagged forms like these. But there's also a video here on my channel where I explain this in depth. There's a Batman on the thumbnail, Batman, and it's the one where I show you how to use light sources in comic book drawings. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and watch it if you're interested in the subject. And if you want to do comics, you definitely should be interested in light sources. It's one of the most important things to know when it comes to drawing comics. So make sure to watch that. Not just because I want to promote my channel, it's really important. Okay, and of course here a little bit, but most importantly we need to have a little bit, wait a second, stay with me computer. We need to have this also in the face. I told you earlier I don't want to have too many strong blacks in my faces, but this is a must. And you can already see it looks like it's very shiny here. If you imagine this in a, for example, red sunlight, could be the evening sun from the side, would look dope. Also in the hair, but not too much because the hair is very dark. And I will also, there will be no rim light from the side, so this will be black. And still I will, there it is. I will still do a sort of a rim light from above. Like that, it's hair. Sorry for turning the page, but that's the way it goes. You need to turn your page a lot for drawing properly. I try to avoid it in my videos, but you know how it is. It's very important. And so that that looks finished, I can already go in and use some line weight, but still break it up a lot, especially at the hair part. Yeah, that's working, I guess. Now I will sharpen this one again and start off with some details on the face. That's actually the main reason I'm using this one lately a little bit more, because I can sharpen it. Because with this one, when I use a pencil like this, I have to put out the thing for so long so I can sharpen it, and that's annoying. Still not sharp enough, oh my. Now we're talking. You have to be able to kill someone with a pencil if you want to do small details. Okay, please don't kill someone with your pencil. So, let's do some rendering, I say. Let's see. how do we start? I need to get in the rendering mood. I want to use these I showed you just earlier. I want to use these renderings on my face. It's a little bit small, but still I will be able to put it off. So it goes like this. I think this should be working. Then we render out of the strong blacks here. Yeah, I think that's not too bad. We could also go ahead and try this. I also want to avoid to have to erase too much, especially rendering lines. You can erase them, but it's not working out greatly actually. A little bit of a shadow under the nose, but I don't want to blacken it out. I just want to have a rendered shadow. Just like that. Overall, I have to say, because of the strong blacks, I like a lot of strong blacks, and very often it's very cool. But it also might take a little bit of the, how can I put this, of the energy from the drawing, because the lines, they make the drawing a lot more alive. And that's what we want with comics and manga, because it's just a still picture. And if we manage to put some life in there, then we have done a great job. Sometimes I look at an artist like Ariel Olivetti and I'm like, it's so nice to have such a cool, clean and renderless drawing as well. Sometimes it's really, really cool. It looks amazing. But for pages, which also is cool, he did whole books in this style, and it's so beautiful and amazing to watch. I really love his stuff, but I think it's better for pages to stick to rendering. And it's faster. That's a problem with me, with art. I love so much different stuff. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. You can't do everything. That's just the way it is. So I will render this one, and there will also be a lot of, I call them cables, you know, from on the neck. And you know what? I will try out the 2B pencil now. Let's just see. It's a little bit darker, but so I have to get used to this one and not press as hard. Which is a bit of a challenge to use this one and then the other one right away, but it's working. And since I'm not pressing so hard, I'm faster, of course, with this one because it's very fluent. And I will use all different, I will fool around with rendering stuff. I will try to show you some new things I found out recently in a second. And you can see how much difference this already makes. Looking so much better if if you render out of the strong blacks. The life is coming into the drawing. Love that. Might be the coolest process of drawing. Lifen it up. Can I say that? I don't think so. But well, I just did. Okay. So let's just move along further. I think this is a little bit too much. I will use this area just like that. What I will do now is some overall renderings with the 2B pencil, some bigger ones. I will still use different lines and different sizes of lines. And when I'm done with that, I will go over the drawing with some even smaller lines, which I will do with the H pencil because that's easier with this one. Okay. I don't know how David Finch does this every Monday with the stress. Man, I'm feeling for you, Dave. Always trying to produce a cool piece of art in 2 hours or less. That's craziness. That's craziness, people. So Meredith, if you see that, go soft on Dave. He will have a heart attack. It's not an option. We need our Dave for a long time to come. Okay. But at the same time, I guess it might make you a better artist if you try to be fast. What I wanted to show you about rendering. Lately, I like to go a little bit more with the forms. Mostly, I just did it like this, rendering, and then like a grid, and only using a little bit of the form. But if you do this, and then you go in like that, it's nicer. Maybe a third one might look better in some situations, but I will show you anyways. So let me just put away this one. So, okay. And I also like to do these, where I just go in a different angle, just to mix it up a little bit. I can also do it right here. And I might do lots of these with the other pencil afterwards, because I think that's a pretty cool look. You can give it more form, more depth. And when you want to have a thinner line with a pencil, of course, you know that you just have to move it around a little bit using the edge. I will try to move the paper as less as possible, okay? But I think you will be able to see everything good enough. There will be no rim light on this arm from this direction, because it's a little bit from above and there's the body in the way, so just in case you're wondering. That's also the cool thing with the rim lights. You can actually do whatever you like. At least to some extent. So it's a lot of fun to draw the Hulk. Which character do you like to draw the most? I wouldn't say it's the most fun to draw the Hulk. I also love to draw the Batman. Wolverine is such a cool character. Of course, all of the characters I just told you earlier I really like. Okay, there's actually supposed to be a shadow right there. You can see I'm still filling in some strong blacks where they're needed. You don't have to spot them all at once. It's totally okay to do that later on, if necessary. See, when I go like this, looking good. You know what's crazy? I have never done a completely done drawing with pencils and then inked it myself. Never. If I ink, I only do it when I with a very, how can I put this? Just a draft, because I don't want to do things twice. I've never inked a rendering line or something I put down. It's actually crazy. I've never even tried it. And I've never inked somebody else. I should, actually. I'm sure you can learn a lot from that. But I have always a project, always something. YouTube, book. There's always something I have to work on, and yeah, I could do a video about inking someone else. That would actually be a lot of fun, I think. I should do that. And the doorbell again. Be right back. Okay, and I'm back. A friendly neighbor came by and brought some stuff for us to cook. It's not cherries. It's the darker cherries. I don't know how they are called in English, actually. But very nice of him. It's very nice to live in the country. They are nice people. Everybody knows everybody. That's cool. So I haven't figured out quite yet how I really most like to render my forearms. I'm always trying out stuff, and I mean, I like it, but not always too happy with the result. But it's okay. I was here actually. That's so crazy. You're drawing, then the bell goes off, and then you're away for 4 minutes. You have to totally like how almost start anew in your head. This looks odd. That's the beauty about using a pencil. Just erase it. Way better. If I would have done this with inks already, I might not have recognized a mistake, and then I would have been left with a silly looking thumb. And of course, what's also very nice, you can be so fast with the pencil. Rendering wise. Just so you just because I was, wait a second, I was telling you before that it's so slow with all them strong blacks, but rendering wise I totally prefer pencil. You can see it's getting dark enough. Yeah, we are getting there, people. We are getting there. What I like to do with my chest is this. To render like this. I guess I will draw in nipples later, because this is faster, you know. I can just concentrate on the rendering, as you can see, and then add stuff later. Just erase something a little and then can go in with some nipples. So I didn't forget. Okay. We will still have to shovel some sand today because we built a round pen for the horses to ride in circles, and we put too much sand in there, so the horses are sinking in a bit, which means we have to get rid of some of the sand, actually quite a lot, and we can only do that by hand. That's the only way, because if you would go in there with a dredger, it would be able that he would ruin the underbuilding from the whole thing, so that's not an option. So sweat and shoveling it is. Okay. You can even go ahead and go figure away from this one, because there's a little bit more light coming from this side, so I think this is working as well, because usually there would be the thicker part of the line, not here. But you can see it also works. Sometimes it also works against the rules. So I want to encourage you to not be slave to all of them rules, but at the same time, don't go too nuts. I know this isn't a lot of advice in the end, but that's just the way it is. A lot of things in comic book drawing are things you need to figure out for yourself. Because you want to do your own thing, and everybody likes different stuff. And what I want to put in some sort of a video, but what I can tell you right here, so if you're still here, first of all, thank you for sticking to my video. I really, really appreciate that. And second of all, if you want to get better in comic book drawings, the thing where I improved the most is to draw pages. it helps more than you can imagine. I mean, really draw pages, not just a page or two and seeing how it goes, how it looks. Really do the works, like 5, 6 pages, a story, a whole book, something like that. You will learn so much, because first of all, you have to get out of your comfort zone all the time, and because, for example, you need to draw the character all of a sudden from behind. You need to be able to draw a character who is looking at another character, but you should still see both of their faces for expressions, because otherwise you will not make it, you will not tell the story, because you don't have place for an extra panel or stuff like that. All these things will make you a way better artist. Way better. And I mean, I draw a lot even if I'm not doing books, but if I do a book I even have to draw way more, because it's just a lot of work, which is also of course a main factor. When you're working on pages, you will automatically work way more. Okay, you can see it comes together. I thought I will be faster, but it's not very small, the whole drawing, and told you a couple of times already, the strong blacks, they need quite some time. And I have to think all the time, way more than Jim Lee or David Finch. They are drawing machines, they have drawn so much, they don't need to think a lot. At this stage, I'm sure, I mean, David Finch, for example, he even says it, he doesn't have to think anymore. Once he's at the rendering, it's just working like a machine. And wait a second, yeah. And I'm getting to a point where I have to think less and less for certain things, but still I'm not there, of course. I'm not at a point where I can say I don't have to think at all. Okay, actually I wanted to do this a little bit different. Let's do it here. To divide this muscle a little bit, but that looks cool, I think. So here we can do this. I do this often when I have the feeling that it will be too loose. Although I'm not too concerned about the arms, because I will do a lot of veins, which will make a big freaking difference. But Hulk needs to have veins. Lots of veins. Also to be seen how they are done in my how to draw veins and folds tutorial. I think these are my best tutorials. How to draw veins and folds. Then the light sources one. And there's also my best going video, so it has to be good as well. It's way over 100,000 views, is how to draw comics, an overall ultimate guide, where I try to put in as much information as humanly possible. this thumb is a little bit pointing away from the light, so I will do a little bit of a shadow, but not too much. There can be this thing right here, it's like a string. Okay, I'm getting hungry. I'm taking too long. A few years back I did some of these 10 minutes, 30 minutes, half an hour drawing videos where you have to draw something in 10 minutes. And those have been very stressful as well. I was thinking about doing one of these again. It would actually be a lot of fun to see how I would do with those now, because I've improved a lot since I did those. It could be fun. You see, when you do these, all the ribs, and you try not to use the same direction, then it doesn't look like that. That's too similar. You see? I think that doesn't look too good. I like the drawing, don't get me wrong. It's a pretty cool drawing, and it's pretty much my style I'm working in at the moment. But that needs to be improved. So if you go in, I could even try, let me think. I could even try and do this. Yeah, I think that works. And of course, those need to be a little bit darker than these, so there's a little bit more darkness in there. And what I wanted to try right away is I want to do a soft shading right here. Let me show you something. When I do this very thin lines, you see? This is a nice addition. Might have been a bit too much. I don't like that. But I will do those later again, anyway. But a small or a thin shadow like this, I think it rounds up the drawing pretty nicely. Oh my. I need to fix the table, sorry about that. Okay, I hope this isn't too annoying all the time. So, we need to get faster again. So about these, I don't want to have them look too similar. The stomach muscles, they are very important. At least to me they are. And I guess to you as well, because they make a drawing. Almost as important as the face. You will look a lot at these muscles. Here we will go a little bit lighter, and here I will do this. A little bit of a shadow, but not as dark, so it's not just black and out. And you can see I'm trying to render a little bit more in the form as I might have done a while ago. And if you are doing this, it's an even nicer hatching out of the blacks. situation. I'm sorry guys. Sometimes I really talk like a crazy person. Even here a little bit of a shadow. You can see I just turned around my pencil and I got very thin lines all of a sudden. And you can see there's a really big, strong black area. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. This muscle is a little bit too round actually, but I think it's okay enough, but just wanted to point that out. Looks a little bit like swollen, but might even be a look you're going for. Okay. And I'm doing it again. It looks a little bit too similar. Let's see how we can fix this. There's a navel, belly button. We need to get more confusion in there. More differences. Better, don't you think? This is very hatching intense, which means I think this is a video you might have a lot of value from. I'm not saying that you don't need how to hatch, that you don't know how to hatch, but it's always nice to watch somebody render his drawing. There's a lot to be learned from, I dare say, even if you're good at it. So there needs to be a shadow, even from those. Computer, stay with me, please. Yes, everything is up and running. Sometimes the screen goes black and I'm getting nervous. To try to get rid of these things where he thinks he can go to sleep. I actually turned them off, but for some reason didn't work. I don't know. I told you earlier, I know I'm not bad with computer stuff and all the technical stuff, but maybe I am, actually. Okay, you know what? I still want to... I was thinking about skipping the trousers so we can be done faster, but I will just go super fast with those. First I should do these hatchings. The trousers can be a little bit darker, especially on this drawing. So I will hatch a lot there. I hope it won't become too confusing. It might be. That's a thing I wanted to try out as well. Because I usually don't do all the hatching lines and then erase them. Usually I try to do stuff like veins and folds before I do the hatching, but it takes longer, of course, when you do it like that, and when you do it like that you end up not doing this, because having to break up every hatching lines for every fold, that would take ages. And then now I will try not to press too hard, so I should be able to erase them quite easily. And we will see if it looks any good. If not, it's just the trousers area, so trouser area. Not a big deal if it's not looking too good. At least I have tried it. Tried it out. So, man, I'm getting really hungry. But I'll stick to the drawing. We need to finish this. Okay. You can see I'm trying out stuff right now. I'm really trying to be as fast as I can and not sticking to the forms too much. Sometimes this works pretty nicely, sometimes it don't, but like I said, if I mess up the trouser area, I'm not feeling too bad about that. Okay. Doing some extra folds in the folds, you know. And I'm getting quiet again. Oh my. I'm very looking forward. I ordered a book. I guess it's the X-Force. No, what is it? Wait a second. A Cyberforce. It needs to be. Yeah, there's a Cyberforce Omnibus, I think it is. And unfortunately, it got delayed. I hope it will not end up getting delayed again, but I'm very looking forward for that because this will be lots of Marc Silvestri's work I don't have yet. So he's one of my absolute favorite artists, which you can see even in this drawing. There's a lot of Marc Silvestri in there, I think. And yeah, that will be cool. So hold your eyes open if you're interested in that book. That will be a really good one. My favorite book from Marc Silvestri is his series on the Hulk. There's some really, really great drawings in there. There's also, you can also buy the whole book. I think he did 4 issues or something. But also the other ones are done good with some other good artists. But he did definitely the best job. But it's Marc Silvestri, so no shame in losing against Marc. Okay, now I will do some small hatching lines like I did here. Oh my, I guess it's 12 o'clock. Oh. But we are getting there, people. It won't be very long anymore. Again, if you're still here, thank you. Highly appreciate that. I'm serious. You know what? Let's do some wanes and folds. We need to finish this. And again, a reminder, let me know down in the comments. pencils or inks? What do you like to watch me doing, and what do you like to do more? Are you more of a penciler or are you more of an inker? Or are you just enjoying to watch a drawing process? It's also totally fine, of course. I do just some parallel lines, those will not be erased. But these things where you have like a fold like that, which produces a shadow, I will use my small eraser and erase it here. Now you can see it's a pretty cool fold. This works so good. You can also use a big eraser and then redraw everything you have erased. But that's a pain. In this case, that would be a pain with all those hatching lines. If you don't have one of these I'm using right now, I would recommend to go and buy one first of all, and if that's not an option, then you definitely need to draw in the veins and the folds before you do the hatching lines. That's the only way. Otherwise it doesn't make sense. And if you have to erase something like that and you want to get rid of the erasing stuff, use one of these. Because with the hand you can see I'm already smudged quite badly. If I do this all the time, it doesn't make it better. You can also go ahead and do some lines like these. Just for fun. And maybe even make an actual fold out of it. It's not really correct, but it looks good. Okay, still need to erase some things right there. This will be my longest video yet. Okay, how does it look on camera? I think you can see everything properly, and we will do another one right here. You can do it like I just did. First draw the pencil line and then erase it. And then you might want to redraw it in a little bit. Or you can also just go ahead and do a line with the eraser and then add the pencil. There's a fold right there. And what's also very important, to break up the line from the folds every now and then, because then it just looks better. I went a little bit too long there. And yeah, I think I will not do it very often like I did here with all these lines underneath. I think it's a little bit confusing, but you tell me. I think that's cool with all those erased lines over this one, over the hatching lines, or is it too much? I'm not sure, but might be a little bit too much. But it's always fun to try things like these out. And I knew I would want to try out some stuff, and I thought like, this might be very interesting for you guys to watch, to try out stuff. Of course, it would have been a disaster, but that's just the way it is. I want this now to be a little bit darker, so I just go ahead and add some extra lines right there, and it's already looking better. So this area is a little bit darker than that. Of course, the colorist, if this would be inked and colored or just colored, you can color a drawing like this also without doing the inks. And yeah, the colorist could do a great job on fixing these things, of course. But better to leave it like you want it when you draw it in the first place. Okay, there needs to be some extra lines. This is not enough. Okay, now we will do, you can see it doesn't look too bad, but it will be a really big difference. So you know what? I might even take a photo. And then I will show you how this looks after I will have added all the veins and stuff like that. What I just saw on the photo, I think it's a little bit too jagged, everything right here. So I will fix this a little bit. Has too much of a cartoony vibe. The thing is, since I was rushing the whole thing, of course, I didn't take time to look from it from afar, first of all. And with the overhead camera, it's not so easy to draw. I have to, usually my head would be in the way. Usually I would draw something like that, but then you would see my hair all the time instead of the drawing, and that's not a good thing. But don't get me wrong, I'm not making up excuses. It's just one of the reasons. I'm making many mistakes still. But that's the way it is. Okay, and now I want to really make him the Hulk. With a lot of veins. So I will go ahead and do a very big one right here. And with veins, you might have seen my how to draw veins and folds tutorial. We will draw everything a little bit, but we will mostly just draw the shadow of the vein. That's how it goes. So here's a shadow, and then we erase out this part. And you will be able to see in a second that this will look pretty cool. I have to erase quite a lot because I did the hatching lines already. And these are a little bit harder to erase, of course. You can see it already looks better, but the veins, they need to stick out because it's the Hulk, you know? So I will do a really big shadow at some points beneath the vein. The veins. Bruce Wayne's. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's the Hulk I like. And we also need to render the wings a little bit. It's the camera. I hope it's not. I hope it's stable enough. You can see that's the way. And these we will do quite a few of them. And you know what? Since this video is taking so long, I will go ahead now and film this part, and we'll speed it up later so you will see me drawing the veins I will film everything but speed it up, and I will talk to you in a second. Okay, so you can see I've added all the veins, and even here there's strings and stuff like that. It took me 15 minutes, about almost 15 minutes, and now I will give him some eyes. I will see how it looks when he has eyes. Let me just... It's very small, but yeah, I think that's cool. Also, I want to do a small detail here on the nose, so it looks a little bit more pissed. Okay. I will not do more details on the face than that, because it's a very small face, it's just like that. The only thing left to do is to freshen up the drawing a little bit with some extra lines I like to do, and they go like this. Very dynamic lines, don't overdo those, but they make a big difference. So with these lines, we want to define more the shapes. So this is round, so I make a small line like this and I break it up a little. And there's way more life in the drawing immediately. And can also be interpreted very nicely by a colorist, if this would get colored. You don't have to do those, but I like to do them. I think this looks cool. It's a little bit hard with all those gazillion of veins. I forgot to render this one. You don't have to render the veins, but I just think it looks better if veins are rendered. It's a pretty cool addition. And when you're doing this, it's very important to take a look at the drawing from afar a little bit, so you won't overdo it, and this way it's easier to spot where you should put some of these. I didn't render this one as well. I will do that in a second. But basically we're done. This needs to be rendered. These need to be rendered. There are some veins, more than one. You can just do small dots or really small lines. And there might be a cool place for a vein here as well. Just a small one. I wouldn't do it exactly like on the other side. That would look funny. This looks good. So there's a little bit of a vein. Cool! And I still want to do some extra lines right there. Also not necessary, but after taking a second look, I thought like, well, maybe some more details. Okay. But all in all, I guess we are done. If you're drawing along, you could have stopped for a while already. Doesn't need to be over-rendered, but I like a very heavy rendered drawing. But at some point you need to say, okay, I'm done, and then just sign it. Rocker. And it's 2022. And another one in the bank. So very often I get asked, how long do you need for a drawing? Just check out the time from this video. And here we are, people, the Hulk. The whole drawing took about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and as you know, it's always a bit hard to do this live, but I think it's a pretty cool Hulk. And I also like the kind of new chest, the stomach muscle area right here, right at the more strong blacks from above actually. And here's a photo I did earlier, and you can see without the veins and the extra lines, it looks way more boring than the end result. And the other thing I wanted to show you, I took a quick photo with the iPad, and now I just need to do this with the contrast and also the gamma. And you can see it's fairly dark. It almost looks like a drawing with inks, which means you could go ahead and color it directly with the iPad. Would work pretty good. Although it's just from a pencil drawing. This is working, fellas. Here again, just so you can see the difference between the pencil drawing and the photograph with the gamma and high contrast. Almost like an ink drawing. Okay guys, but that's it for today's video. I hope you had fun watching and maybe even drawing along. If you did so, a like rating is always appreciated. And also, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my future videos, because there will be plenty more to come. And since the Hulk has so many veins, I want you to go now and watch this video. That's where I show you how to draw veins and folds. All you need to know, a very well thought through guide. So have fun watching this one. If you have seen it already, watch it again. There's so much to learn. We need to revisit these things every now and then, so we won't forget them. So see you there, my friends, and on the next video. Thank you for watching.